So as a biracial millennial father of 4 uniquely diverse children, I've always been drawn to stories that challenge societal norms and celebrate the power of individuality. When I first encountered the anime series Kill la Kill, I was immediately captivated by its bold visuals, irreverent humor, and unapologetic exploration of themes like conformity, rebellion, and self-acceptance. As I delved deeper into the world of Honnojoui Academy and its colorful cast of characters, I discovered that Kill la Kill was more than just a thrilling and provocative adventure. It was a profound and deeply personal reflection on the struggles and triumphs of coming of age in a world that seeks to define and limit us. Kill la Kill resonates on a deeply personal level as I see echoes of my own children's experiences in the journey of its protagonist. My eldest child, who is gender fluid, can find inspiration in Ryuko's defiant spirit and her rejection of rigid gender roles. My second child, a son navigating a world of complex and toxic masculinity, sees a kindred spirit in the conflicted and multifaceted Uzu. And my youngest, who has Down syndrome, finds joy and encouragement in Mako, and also looks exactly like her. See above. As a parent, I believe that stories with the power to shape our understanding of ourselves and the world around us, they can challenge our assumptions, broaden our perspectives, and inspire us to be our best selves. In the case of Kill la Kill, its themes and messages are more relevant and important than ever, as we seek to create a world where every individual is free to express their authentic selves without fear of judgment or persecution. In this video essay, I will explore how Kill la Kill subverts and redefines the tropes of the magical girl and shonen anime genres, using its vivid characters and electrifying action as vehicles for a deeper exploration of identity, conformity, and the power of self-acceptance. I will examine how the series' central metaphor of clothing as a tool of oppression and liberation reflects the real-world struggles of marginalized communities, and how its portrayal of found family and unconditional love offers a model for building a more inclusive and compassionate society. And finally, I will share how Kill la Kill has influenced my own approach to parenting, as I strive to create a home where my children feel seen, valued, and empowered to be their true selves. But before we dive into the heart of the series, first let's take a moment to understand the creative vision and context that gave birth to this groundbreaking and unforgettable anime. I am gonna say really quick before I start this video, yes, I know it's Lady Satsuki, yes, I know it's Honnojoui Academy, or Honnojoui Academy. You know what, I recorded it late at night and I'm not re-recording all the things just because of just some... Anyways, if you're an adult, you won't care. From the very beginning, Studio Trigger's creation was itself an act of rebellion. Founded by former Gainax employees Hiroyuki Imaishi and Masahiko Otsuka, Trigger was born out of a desire to break free from the constraints of the anime industry and to create something that is truly groundbreaking. Imaishi, the visionary director behind Gurren Lagann, honestly that was my favorite anime before I saw Kill la Kill. They brought his signature style and unwavering commitment to pushing boundaries to the studio. Imaishi set out to create a series that would subvert expectations and challenge the very notion of what anime could be. Imaishi's keen observations that the Japanese pronunciations of fascism and fashion are nearly identical, along with this realization that the words for school uniform and conquest are homonyms in Japanese, this all laid out the groundwork for the series' core themes and motifs. The very title itself, Kill la Kill, is a multi-layered pun, with kiru meaning kill, to cut, or to wear, hinting at the complex interplay between clothing power and rebellion that lies at the heart of the story. This rebellious spirit and uncompromising vision would come to define Kill la Kill, a series that gleefully tears down the conventions of the magical girl genre and shonen anime, creating something entirely new in the process. Hi there, YouTube game guy who's shorting the absolute crap out of RevoCore right now. I wanted today to kind of talk about one of my favorite animes, like top 3 of all time, and kind of just the experiences I've been kind of showing it to my kids and actually trying to talk to them, I guess in media literacy, about the themes and the messages of the show more than just what they're saying on screen. If you have never heard of Kill la Kill or haven't seen it before, it's a show that is way deeper than it looks. It is, it is the Transformers of anime. It is more than meets the eye. And yes, I know about the history of Transformers. We're going to kind of go over it. This is kind of my attempt to be 100% honest, to do like a super eye patch wolf kind of video talking about the overall show and the themes and all that. So if that sounds like something that you were interested in, then hey, you found the right guy. So this is my last chance to get in some parenting before the rest of the world takes over. So if this sounds like your jam, just keep watching. Let's go.
Stealing half-eaten lemons from people? Huh, nice manners, kid. Are you that desperate to swap spit with chicks?
As Ryuko Matoi arrives in Honno City, she finds herself in a world that is both familiar yet alien. The city's towering skyscrapers and sprawling urban landscape are reminiscent of any modern metropolis, but there is something undeniably sinister lurking beneath the surface. The Kiryun family's influence is felt in every corner of the city, from the looming presence of the Reptarus Corporation to the oppressive atmosphere that hangs over the streets. It is a world shaped by power and control, where the strong dominate the weak and conformity is the only path to survival. The stratified class structure of Honno City, in which a student's social status and that of their family are determined by the power of their Goku uniform, serves as a very potent metaphor for the way in which clothing and fashion can be used as tools of oppression and control. The uniforms made by the Reptarus Corporation are woven with a special material called life fibers, and these life fibers grant their wearers superhuman abilities, creating a literal and figurative power imbalance that mirrors the inequalities of our world. And as Ryuko begins to unravel the secrets of her past and her father's murder, she finds herself drawn into the heart of this twisted world, where the very fabric of society is woven from the threads of manipulation and deceit.
Fear is freedom! Subjugation is liberation! Contradiction is truth! Those are the facts of this world, and you will all surrender to them! You pigs in human clothing!
Honnojoui Academy, the nucleus of Honno City, is a school like no other. Under Satsuki Kiryun's totalitarian rule, it functions as a microcosm of a society built on fear, intimidation, and the brutal enforcement of conformity. Power is everything, and individuality is a luxury that very few can afford. The Academy's hierarchy is enforced through the use of Goku uniforms. The higher a student's rank, the more power their uniform is, creating a system where strength and status are inextricably linked. This hierarchical structure serves as the potent metaphor for which the way that power is consolidated and wielded by those at the top. Those at the bottom are left to struggle and suffer for just survival and scraps. For no-star students, life at Honnojoui Academy is a constant battle against oppression and abuse, subjected to the iron-fisted discipline of club presidents and the ruthless tactics of the Elite Four, not that Elite Four. These students find themselves trapped in a system that rewards blind obedience and punishes even the slightest hint of individuality or dissent, and the dire consequences faced by those who dare to challenge the status quo, from severe beatings to outright death sentences, serve as a very chilling reminder of the lengths that those who are in power will go to in order to maintain control. As Ryuko navigates the treacherous halls of Honnojoui Academy, she begins to understand the true nature of the school and the depths of Satsuki's ambition. There's one instance where Satsuki holds what she calls the Naturals election scheme, or the natural elections event, but I mean, you just slur your words a little bit, you have the point. And it's a 7-day battle royale where students must fight to earn Goku uniforms. And that right there just reinforces the fascist tendencies and infrastructure that she is trying to build. In this world, only the strong survive, and conformity and obedience are rewarded above all else.
We eat your puppets! I won't let you tie us down with some goddamn string!
All things considered, Ryuko Matoi is a force of nature, a brash and impulsive young woman with a fierce determination to uncover the truth behind her father's murder. As she arrives at Honnojoui Academy, Ryuko quickly establishes herself as a thorn in Satsuki's side, refusing to conform to the school's rigid hierarchy and challenging the very foundation of the Goku uniform system. Ryuko's rebellious spirit and fierce determination are rooted in her tumultuous past and her strained relationship with her father Isshin Matoi. Raised in the dorms of Ox Elementary School where her father focused on his research, she was constantly getting into fights and even joining a gang at one point in time. Ryuko's delinquent behavior reflects the deep-seated feelings of abandonment and resentment that she harbored towards her absentee father. It all culminates in an event where Ryuko ends up finding her father, Isshin, dead, and this event ends up being the catalyst for her journey throughout the series. The sight of her father bleeding to death and a mysterious woman with a scissor blade and the explosive destruction of her home, it all contributes to the intense emotional trauma that drives Ryuko's quest for vengeance. Isshin's cryptic final words urging Ryuko to take up the scissor blade and fight in his place became the guiding force behind her actions. She was seeking to uncover the truth behind her father's murder and to bring his killer to justice. As Ryuko navigated the treacherous world of Honnojoui Academy, the secrets of her own past, her rebellious nature, and her unwavering determination serve as both her greatest strengths and her most significant challenges. Her refusal to conform to the status quo of the Academy and her willingness to challenge it put her in direct conflict with the powerful forces that seek to control her, even as her interference draw her closer to the truth that she seeks. Ryuko's journey of self-discovery is defined by her bond with Senketsu, a sentient sailor uniform made of life fibers. Their intimate yet uneasy symbiosis, Senketsu grants immense power in exchange for Ryuko's blood, and it serves as a metaphor for the dual nature of clothing to empower and also objectify. As a kamui, a pure life fiber garment that bonds with its wearer, Senketsu grants Ryuko immense power, but at the cost of both her blood and her dignity. As Ryuko's journey unfolds, she begins to understand that the search for answers is actually linked to something that is just larger than herself. With each new revelation, Ryuko is forced to confront the very nature of her own identity and the role she must play in the fight for freedom. And it is only through her best friend's love, Mako, and the guidance and compassion of Senketsu that Ryuko is able to remember her true self and the values that she is fighting for. But through it all, Ryuko remains true to herself and her convictions, refusing to be defined by anyone else's expectations or limitations. Even in the face of overwhelming opposition and personal sacrifice, she stands as a beacon of hope and defiance to others, a reminder of the unbreakable strength of the human spirit and the power of staying true to oneself.
You know, you're not alone anymore, because now you got us in your life. And by us, I'm talking about Senkets, and me, and my whole family. We all love you lots and lots. You know we do, right?
Of course. I never had any doubt.
Speaking of which, in a world defined by power and ambition, Mako shines as a beacon of unbridled optimism and unwavering loyalty. As Ryuko's first friend at Honnojoui Academy, Mako becomes an invaluable source of support and a constant reminder of the power of friendship. Mako's role as a no-star student living in the slums highlights the harsh realities of the class divide, but her infectious enthusiasm and fierce devotion to Ryuko transcends both artificial boundaries. Her infinite optimism and the unshakable belief in the power of anime friendship serves as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope to be found within the bonds that we share. As stereotypical as it is, I mean, there is a reason that the power of anime and friendship does overcome almost everything. Throughout the series, we see Mako's own special power and the ability to see the best in everyone, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. She serves as the pure optimism and hope that can be held within the human spirit, whether she's delivering impassioned speeches about the importance of friendship or risking her life to protect those that she loves. Mako Mako is a true hero in every sense of the word, and in some ways she is just as much of a hero as Ryuko because of the fact that she doesn't really have the same type of powers. Like, one of the most impactful scenes in Mako's arc is her impassioned speech during the battle between Ryuko and the Elite Four. At this moment, Ryuko is on the ropes, she's on the brink of defeat, but Mako fearlessly stands between her friend and these four mid-game bosses, delivering a heartfelt speech about the importance of friendship, the true meaning of strength, and this moment not only showcases Mako's own power of friendship and strength, but is also the turning point for Ryuko, reminding her of the reasons why she is fighting and the people that she is fighting for. The whole thing is that Ryuko is now seeing the impact that she is making on others, with her essentially sacrificing herself and her modesty and I guess the way that she allows herself to be perceived in order to try to help everyone else. Mako's love and support prove instrumental in Ryuko's struggles against the life fibers and her own inner demons. Through her unwavering belief in Ryuko and her ability to inspire others, Mako demonstrates that her true strength lies not in titles or status, but once again, the bonds that we forge and the love that we share. So really quick before I get into this, I know that there's like a video that blew up a little bit that talks about this, but I tried to make sure to not watch it as to not let it affect my opinions. So if anything I say, so if for any reason I end up repeating stuff from that video, I'm sorry. It's not on purpose. But the way that Kill la Kill really desexualizes its characters, it is both very in your face and also very subtle at the same time. When I first started watching the show, at first I was like, what the hell? This is like the most stereotypical anime ever. And then I realized, oh, this is the most stereotypical anime ever. So first off, our main two protagonists, or our main two characters, both of their skin is so white that it almost looks just like a plain white addition to their overall costumes. It almost makes it look like it's a part of their entire costume, especially when it comes to Jinketsu and Lady Satsuki. Like, there are very many times where I had to remind myself, oh yeah, she's barely wearing anything because it almost all looks like a bodysuit. And also, I think one thing is really interesting is, like I said, by the end of the show, there's nothing there aside from just the shape and the suggestion. And I mean, I think that was the whole point, that by the time that you reach the end of the show, you see something like that, you see, I guess, quote-unquote nudity, and you almost just see it as just something completely blank. So I thought that that was a very interesting visual metaphor.
To unleash the most power, this is the form a Kamui must take! You cling to the puritanical views of the masses, proving just how inferior you are! But I won't be ashamed! If it means I can fulfill my ambitions, I will bare my breast for all to see! I will do whatever it takes! For I know that my actions are utterly pure!
Anyways, Satsuki Kiryun, it perhaps is the perfect antagonist to Ryuko's rebellious spirit. She's cold, calculating, and just utterly ruthless in her pursuit of power. But as the story unfolds, it becomes clear that beneath her icy exterior lies a deeply wounded soul that was shaped by the traumas of her past and the weight of her family's dark legacy. Satsuki's character arc is defined by the gradual revelation of her true motives and the depths of her understanding, so spoilers ahead. Jinketsu, the kamui that Satsuki would one day wear, was meant to be her quote-unquote wedding dress in her mother's eyes, serving as a really messed up and haunting symbol of the cycle of abuse and in the way in which Ragyo seeks to control and, in many ways, consume her daughter. Satsuki's toxic relationship with her mom serves as a very poignant and disturbing commentary on the ways in which society, and particularly older generations, can simultaneously objectify and demonize the bodies of adolescent girls. Ragyo's obsession with fashion and her twisted experiments with life fibers are just manifestations of societal's pressures placed on young women to perform to certain standards of beauty and femininity, even at the cost of their own autonomy and well-being. Moreover, Ragyo's physical abuse of Satsuki and her complete disregard for her daughter's bodily autonomy serves as a very chilling reminder in the ways that the bodies of young women are often treated as public property, subject to the gaze and judgment of others. Like, it just completely boggles my mind how there is this really weird and messed up double standard in which adolescent girls are simultaneously objectified and sexualized while also being expected to maintain a standard of purity and innocence. It creates an impossible situation that can lead to all sorts of mental health issues, which, including anxiety, depression, dysmorphia, and just self-loathing. The trauma of her early childhood fuels Satsuki's determination to break free from her mother's influence and to forge her own path, even as she must navigate the treacherous waters of Honnojoui Academy and maintain the facade of a ruthless dictator in order to do so. As Ryuko and Satsuki's paths continue to cross, the parallels between their lives become increasingly apparent. Both are daughters of brilliant scientists, both have been shaped by the loss of a parent, and both are fighting against the forces that seek to control them. Also, shout out to this show for having some very early sub-representation. That's not really my thing, but I can at least appreciate it that they were talking about it at an early time. I know that I may not look like the type of person that's really into like strong female protagonists or anything like that, but I can definitely be pegged as one.
Honnojoui Academy is my kingdom. If you think you can topple it alone, then I accept your challenge. Starting tomorrow, every club will be after your head. Still think you can win?
You bet your ass I do.
So really quick, we're just going to take a brief side tangent and we're going to go over the mid-game bosses that are the Elite Four, and I'm just going to kind of talk about how they reflect the themes of the show that we've been discussing so far. So as I just said, the Elite Four, Satsuki's hand-picked enforcers of the school, part of the student council, are a reflection of various forms of power and control that define the world of Kill la Kill. Their individual personalities, motivations, and backstories serve to enrich the series' exploration of its central themes, adding depth and complexity to the narrative and the characters' relationship with one another and with Satsuki herself. Ida Gamagori, the disciplinary committee chair, embodies the strictest adherence to rules and hierarchy. His unwavering loyalty to Satsuki and his role as her right-hand man reflects the importance of order and obedience in maintaining the status quo. However, beneath his intimidating exterior and his willingness to punish rule breakers, Ida possesses a strong sense of honor and a deep concern for the well-being of innocent students. His backstory involves a moment in which he confronts a group of bullies abusing their power, and this highlights his overall sense of resolve and his dedication of using his strength to protect the weak, even though he ends up serving a system that often oppresses them. He's one of those people that believes that rule and order is inherently good, so anyone who breaks it must be inherently bad, which is fortunately something that can be unlearned. Uzu Sanagayama, the athletic committee chair, represents the pursuit of strength and the drive to overcome one's limitations. Initially portrayed as laid-back and arrogant, Sanagayama's humbling defeat at the hands of Ryuko Matoi serves as a very poignant turning point in his character arc. It leads him to such extreme measures such as sewing his eyes shut in order to redeem himself and to grow stronger. His transformation reflects the series' themes of self-improvement and the importance of adapting to new challenges, but it also very strongly highlights the dangers of obsession and sacrifice of one's humanity in the pursuit of power, like a space marine. Next, we have Nanon Jakuzuri, the non-athletic committee chair. She serves as a counterpoint to the stoic seriousness of her fellow Elite Four members. She has a very snarky demeanor and deep-seated arrogance that is a mask for the fierce loyalty that she has for her BFF Satsuki. They have a relationship that goes back to their childhood, but this bond, something deeper aside from her arrogant, I'm so cool facade. The fact that she cares so intently for Satsuki but still has basically this facade of caring about nobody else, that is very obvious that she has a very strong wall that she has put up for whatever reason. And finally, we have Huka Inumuta, the Information and Strategy Committee Chair. He embodies the power of knowledge and the potential for both liberation and control that comes with it. As a former freelance hacker who once targeted the Kiryun family's corporation, Inumata's backstory reflects the series' themes of rebellion and the struggle against oppressive systems. However, his recruitment by Satsuki and his role in maintaining the Academy's surveillance apparatus also highlights the moral ambiguity and the blurred lines between resistance and complicity that characterize the world of Kill la Kill. The complex and often contradictory relationships between the Elite Four and Satsuki lie at the heart of Kill la Kill's exploration of the nature of leadership, the bounds of loyalty, and the moral ambiguity that is often accompanying the fight against oppression. As Satsuki's closest confidants and the enforcers of her will, the Elite Four are both complicit in the maintenance of Honnojoui Academy's oppressive system and integral to the rebellion of the very system that they helped defend. The loyalty displayed by each member of the Elite Four towards Satsuki, even in the face of her seemingly cruel and tyrannical actions, is a true blue testament to the charisma and strength of her leadership. From Gamagori's steadfast devotion to Nanon's long-standing friendship, the bonds that tie the Elite Four to Satsuki are portrayed as unbreakable, forged through shared struggles and a belief in her ultimate vision. However, as the series progresses and the true nature of Satsuki's plans are revealed, these relationships are tested and strained, forcing each character to confront the depths of their loyalty and the consequences of their actions. No longer bound by the rigid hierarchy and the roles they once played, they emerge as equals, united by their shared experiences and their commitment to fight for humanity's freedom. Through their struggles, their growth, and their eventual redemptions, they contribute to the series' nuanced exploration of power, loyalty, and the complex realities of resistance in the face of oppression.
From the moment humans gained free will on Earth, they have been destined to cover their bodies in the clothing called sin.
So it is at this time the truth of the Goku uniform materials is all laid bare. The life fibers, this mystical magical material, are actually an alien race of sentient parasites, and are actually the Illuminati. They are the hidden hand behind the Kiryun Empire, and their only goal is orchestrating the subjugation of humanity for their own ends. Normal anime stuff. The biology and life cycle of the life fibers, as revealed throughout the series, are a reminder of the scope and scale of the threat that they pose despite being, for all intents and purposes, sentient cloth. From their ability to enhance and control their host to the ultimate goal of consuming the planet's thermal energy and scattering their seed across the cosmos. The life fibers are a force of nature within themselves, quite literally. It's a cosmic horror that threatens the very existence of life on Earth. But they are the true enemy of this entire story. And as parasitic organisms that have guided mankind's development for their own purposes, like billionaires, the life fibers add a new layer of depth and complexity to the overall central metaphor of clothing as a tool for oppression and control, like billionaires. This is when it's revealed that the true purpose of Honnojoui Academy is far more sinister than any mere schoolyard tyranny. Satsuki's revelation is that she's been using the school as a training ground for her army this whole time, preparing them for the inevitable fight against the life fibers and the Revox Corporation. And this casts the Academy's oppressive nature in a new light. The students unknowingly have been pawns in a much larger game, their suffering and struggles serving as a crucible to forge them into weapons for Satsuki's rebellion. And I also think that if we would have known that from the beginning, instead of it being a school full of torture and all that other stuff, they would see it as them being in a training ground for a larger battle, much like Space Marines. This revelation about Honnojoui Academy as a training ground also casts the Elite Force roles into a new light as well. It kind of starts blurring their lines between villains and heroes and starts them on their redemption arc, despite the fact that up until that point, everything that they did was in the name of oppression and resistance. Their blind willingness to follow Satsuki's lead, even as she employs harsh and manipulative tactics, it's very much a highlight of the moral complexities of their situation and the sacrifices that they were willing to make in service of a greater cause, even if they didn't know it. Everything they thought they were doing was for a greater good or for just keeping the establishment of power, but in the end, they are actually the rebellion. And in another sense of twisted irony, this is also when it's revealed that Ryuko and Satsuki's father is actually Isshin Watoi, and Satsuki's mother, Ragyo Kurin, were both scientists who played a crucial role in the development of the life fibers and their integration into human society as well. But while Isshin sought to use his knowledge to protect humanity, Ragyo embraced the power of the life fibers and sought to use them to achieve her own twisted ends. The reveal of both of their roles and the creation of the life fibers makes a very tragic dimension to Ryuko's and Satsuki's struggles, along with their backstories. As both daughters of the scientists who sought to harness the power of life fibers for their own ends, Ryuko and Satsuki must confront the legacy of their parents and the consequences of their actions. And this twist, while not excusing the cruelty and harshness of Satsuki's methods, really kind of brings into question and starts a conversation about the complexity of power and resistance that run throughout the series. It raises questions about the nature of leadership, sacrifices that must be made in the face of a very overwhelming opposing evil, and the very not even occasional but just the sheer moral ambiguity that often accompanies these fights. As they navigate the rest of the landscape going forward, they must confront not only the external forces of the corporations and the life fibers, but they also must come to terms with the things that they are doing themselves for the sake of a better, brighter tomorrow. And in a double twist, it is revealed that Ryuko's father, Isshin Watoi, who faked his own death and went into hiding to create Senketsu and the Scissor Blades as a mean to combat and kill the life fibers. This means that the entire time, Ryuko and Satsuki were siblings, and it completely transforms their battle against each other. It almost becomes like the prodigal's daughter returning home in a way. As the daughters of two brilliant minds who have ascended beyond the limits of human understanding, both of these girls must confront the legacy of their parents and literally every single choice that has brought them to this moment. As the firstborn child of Ragyo Kurin and Soichiro Kurin, Satsuki was subjected to the horrors of life fiber experimentation at a very young age, and becoming the first failed test subject in her mother's twisted schemes. However, it was her father, Soichiro, who secretly taught a young Satsuki the truth about her mother and the life fibers, planting the seeds of rebellion that would eventually blossom into her grand plan to overthrow her mother. This all culminates in a climactic battle between the three, Ryuko, Satsuki, and their mother, on top of Honnojoui Academy, the personifications of the generational struggle against the oppressive forces of conformity and control, all right there. And as Ragyo seeks to unleash the power of the life fibers and remake the world in her own image, Ryuko and Satsuki are literally confronting the specter of their parents and the universal forces that brought them to this final battle. And at this moment in time, as Ryuko and Shinketsu make their last stand against the primordial life fiber itself, father and daughter, their bond just ends up being the shining example of strength that comes from true understanding and acceptance, not just between yourself, but between others that you deem your family. I know I've said it already, but like I said, it's proof that these connections that are forged between characters, the love that they share, their determination, their understanding, their open-mindedness, this was the thing that was able to get them to win this battle. The strength of the material that we call human love and compassion is stronger than any other type of life fiber that could come from anywhere else. Now, this final battle against the life fibers wasn't just something that sprung from Ryuko's adventures and battles and things like that. In the shadows, there was a rebel group that was known as Nudist Beach, and they emerged as the beacon of hope and resistance for the regular people. Also, one thing I really noticed is they treat boobs as just like meat. No, they don't objectify boobs. They just treat them as just part of the body. So whenever they do like weird boob physics or something like that, it's funny, but at the same time it's just like they're not calling attention to it.
Nudist Beach.
Say what?
We call ourselves Nudist Beach!
Who the hell is we?
The organization I belong to. Nudist Beach!
During this invasion, led by Ryuko's teacher, Akira Mikisugi, Nudist Beach represents the last stand against the forces of oppression and control that are the life fibers. As Ryuko and her allies join forces with Nudist Beach, they begin to understand the true scope of the battle that they are facing. It's not a fight just for their own lives, but for the future of all of humanity. A struggle against an enemy that has been lurking in the shadows for generations. Through their partnership with Nudist Beach, Ryuko and friends learn the power of solidarity and the importance of standing together in the face of overwhelming odds. They discover that true strength lies not in the Goku uniforms they wear or the weapons that they wield, but the bonds in the spirit of those who refuse to surrender. Nudist Beach is a very powerful symbol of the overall series theme of liberation and self-acceptance. By embracing their own bodies and rejecting the false power granted by the life fibers, the members of Nudist Beach embody the idea that true strength comes from within, not from the clothes one wears or the title that one holds. And this message is particularly poignant in the context of the series' target audience of adolescents and young adults who often struggle with issues of self-image and societal pressures to conform to certain standards. After taking Ryuko under his wing and guiding her to a deeper understanding of the powers that play in this world, his flamboyant antics and outrageous transformations serve as kind of a parody of the type of male gaze that you would normally see in these types of more male-centric shonen anime. Over the course of the series, we see Ryuko and the Revolt Corporation manipulating people into believing that puberty, sexuality, and the naked body are all inherently dirty. She forces this level of cognitive dissonance where we need to be beautiful and perfect all the time and yet still cover many parts of ourselves. And for teenagers and younger people, this should strongly resonate. We're told that when we're teenagers that our bodies are repulsive, shameful things, and Nudist Beach aims to contradict this statement by saying that our bodies are natural works of art that are to be cherished. Mikisugi was the one that had to explain Ryuko's kamui to her and encourage her on what had to be done. And to be quite metaphorical with it, this was pretty much just his version of sex ed. And also, his constant exposure is never considered overtly sexual. We never get shown glossy body parts or highly detailed feet or deliberately sexualized views of the members. And when we do, it's played for pretty obvious laughs, and it has an obvious satire of the blatant male gaze that drove a lot of anime at the time, like I said earlier. Basically, no one in Nudist Beach would be caught living or dead on a mother's basement hottest trash thumbnail. Nudist Beach as an organization and the members within are a great personification about the human spirit laid bare, ha ha ha. So if you've made it this far, let me just say, I guess this will be my pitch, that if you were digging this video, I would definitely love to do something similar for Madoka Magica. That is probably, such a good show. But first off, I guess we'll set a goal, like 1,000 likes or something like that for a Madoka Magica episode. And also in the comments, let me know if I need to watch like all 50 volumes, or if I can just stick with like the first anime run and maybe like a movie or two. Because I have very limited time and I have 4 kids. And while I am going to watch some of this stuff with my kids, I also want to keep making things for you. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below. Let's bring this home.
Don't cry. You cannot wear a sailor uniform forever. From now on, wear whatever you want. Clothes more cute than me.
So in the end, Kill la Kill stands as a testament to the power of the human spirit and the unbreakable bonds of friendship and family. Through its vivid characters, the electrifying action and thought-provoking themes, the series invites us to question the very fabric of our society and to imagine a world where every individual is free to wear their heart on their sleeve, both literally and figuratively. The series' exploration of the complex interplay between clothing, identity, and power serves as a very powerful metaphor for the ways in which societal norms and expectations can shape and constrain us, limiting our potential and stifling our authentic selves. Through the journeys of characters like Ryuko, Satsuki, and the members of Nudist Beach, Kill la Kill challenges us to break free from these constraints and to embrace the power of self-acceptance and self-expression. So for me as a parent and an individual, Kill la Kill has been a very profound source of inspiration and reflection. Through its themes of rebellion, self-discovery, and the power of authenticity, the series has really challenged me to confront my own biases and assumptions, and to really think critically about the messages I internalize and the example that I set for my kids. It has inspired me to help create a home where my children feel seen and empowered to be their true selves, free from the constraints of societal expectations and the pressure to conform. It's reminded me of the importance of fostering open, honest communication and creating a space where vulnerability and self-expression are celebrated rather than feared. And ultimately, Kill la Kill stands as a celebration of the diversity and complexity of the human experience. It is a rallying cry for the power of individuality and the importance of standing up for what we believe in. Through its vibrant characters, outrageous action, and deeply resonant themes, the series challenges us to look beyond the surface and confront the ways in which we allow ourselves to be defined and constrained by external forces. As we follow Ryuko's journey from angry loner to passionate defender of humanity, we are reminded of our own capacity for growth and transformation. And Satsuki's journey from ruthless dictator to loving sister and selfless hero stands as a testament to the transformative power of forgiveness, love, and just compassion itself. Her story, intertwined with Ryuko's own path to self-discovery and acceptance, is a very powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always potential for growth, healing, and redemption. For parents, educators, and mentors, the series offers valuable lessons about the importance of fostering environments where young people feel empowered to explore the identities and express themselves freely. It reminds us of the profound impact we can have on the lives of others by offering just even a little bit of support, understanding, and acceptance. In the end, Kill la Kill is more than just an anime series. It itself is a call to action. It's a challenge for us to examine our own lives and to confront the ways in which we may be limiting ourselves or others, and to try to strive for a world where every individual is free to shine in their own unique way. So by embracing this spirit of rebellion, self-discovery, and unbreakable bonds that lie within the heart of this show, Kill la Kill, we can work towards creating at least a slightly better society that celebrates all of the things that make individuals individuals. We always have the power to choose our own path and to stand up for what we believe in. And in doing so, we can weave a tapestry of human experience that is rich and vibrant and diverse as the world of Kill la Kill itself. Okay, if you've actually made it this far and you made it past the part where I talked about meat, then Thank you. First off, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm sorry this took so long, but my kids are going back to school. We've been doing back to school stuff, trying to get back into the groove of things, and I can at the very least say that since they're going to be gone for like 7 hours, 8 hours a day, I'm going to be getting stuff done. I'm very excited. I even have some side projects I'm working on now. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if there's any other anime or any other show that you would like me to kind of discuss like this. Give me some... I would always appreciate feedback in regards to how eye-patch wolfy this is. I know it's not going to be a one-to-one. I don't want to make it a one-to-one, but I at least want to wear my inspirations on my sleeve. So let me know what you think. It is getting late. I want to go to bed. And yeah, let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.